What is up, guys? Welcome back. Old Man Trying here with one more defensive simplified video for you. Again, we're going to be looking at 6-1 cover 4, but this time, we've done bits and pieces of it. We've gone over the base cover 4, what you want to do. We've gone over the mabling, what you want to do. Now we're going to kind of put it all together, go over all the players, abilities, substitutions, coach adjustments, and then different kind of coverage adjustments we can do based on formations. So to get us started, we're just going to look at our team and abilities you're going to want. You'll notice, first of all, both of our safeties are cornerbacks. Overall does not matter. Don't worry about what overall players are at each position. Worry about what abilities they're going to get. You want to know what type of defense you're going to run, and then what abilities work best for that defense is much more important than what their overall is at that position. In this example, these two cornerbacks, why we have them up at safeties is because they both get deep zone KO. So it's not deep out, it's not deep in, it's just anything deep over 20 yards, 25 yards, whatever it is. They're going to play a lot better and they're going to knock it out. So having those guys up top in this defense we're going to run is huge. If you can't get deep zone, deep out zone would be the second best, and then deep in zone. But you want to make sure you have at least one knockout on each of your starting safeties. Now also, considering we're in 6-1, we're only starting two cornerbacks. So cornerback 1, cornerback 2, they both have, you can't really see because my big fat head's in the way, but this Peanut Tillman and Teron Johnson are going to have mid zone and deep out zone. So remember, what zones are they going to be playing? They're either going to be playing a deep quarter or probably 20 to 25 to 30 yard flat. So they're always either going to be in a mid zone or a deep out zone. So if you have both those KOs on your cornerback, you're golden. But now the most important abilities and position groups for running a good 6-1 are going to be your linebackers. At linebackers, you want to have at least 5 that have lurk artist. And you need at least one right outside and one left outside that each have lurk artist, because they're going to be coming down and playing defensive end. Middle linebackers, you cannot sub in to defensive end. It's only outside linebackers. So we're gonna have those two, and in this example, Mr. Monday Night and Ted Hendricks are going to be playing our defensive ends, and then our starting linebackers will be Bo Jackson on the outside, Roquan Smith in the middle, Chris Collinsworth can go on the other outside. So we're gonna have lurk artists just all over the field, having them on your defensive ends and being able to either drop them back into coverage or even user them if you want to, makes pass defense so much easier and so much better. You're gonna really want to do that. So then, considering we have two outside linebackers playing defensive end, that leaves our D-tackled positions open. What I like to do is just have somebody like this Matabeast. He gets inside stuff, and he gets the aka unstoppable X factor that's going to be on. So of course that's going to help get a lot extra pass rush up the middle, and obviously help with the run defense too. And then your other D-tackle, I don't have another one, but I would probably put another inside stuff or no outsiders, another run stopping ability I would put on the other D-tackle you want to play. So that's pretty much it for in terms of players and abilities. You just want to, again, make sure, even if you're not running 6-1 cover 4, know what defense you want to run mainly and get your abilities set up right. It's going to help so much with the knockouts, interceptions, everything. It's going to help. It is so important to do that. So let's head over to practice mode. I will show you the substitutions, coach adjustments, and then different coverage adjustments we want to do depending on what formation you're seeing. Alright, so here we are in practice mode. First, let's go over our coach adjustments. So here, I leave auto flip on and auto alignment on default. I know a lot of people like to do base. I will show you an example here and probably just a little bit of why I like to keep this on default. The only things we're really going to change, I'm going to actually move my camera here quick. We made it. Option defense, conservative. So any of those QB option runs, they'll play the quarterback instead of the running back. I don't think there's really much of a downside on that one. And then zone drops, flats 25, curl flats you can either keep default or put them at 0. I usually like to put them at 0 because then they just go to the sidelines a lot faster, and they seem to make more plays doing that. So we keep that on a 0 there. So then substitutions. So we're in the Chiefs playbook. I think it's the best defensive playbook still in the game. You get 6-1, you get dollar, you get big nickel, you get pretty much every good formation you can have on defense. So just go over once left on the D-pad, get to 6-1. We're going to hit Y for our substitutions. First thing we want to do, we do not want Myles Garrett in there. We want our lurk artist, Mr. Monday Night. So now we have to get Ted Hendricks out of his outside linebacker spot. So we're going to keep coming down until we get to Ted Hendricks. A, we're going to put Chris Collinsworth, because again, middle linebackers can play outside linebackers, but they cannot play defensive end. So we move the middle linebacker to outside linebacker. Now we come up to this defensive end spot, get him out for Ted Hendricks. Then either D-tackle, doesn't matter which one, we'll take out Buckner and put in Mattabeast. This is just something, a lot of this, you're just going to want to come into a practice mode and practice yourself. Because it's going to seem like a lot, but it really isn't. It's really simple and easy. That's why I like to run it. You just got to get in the motion of being able to do it and do it quickly. So substitutions are set. Let's go into, we'll have just the offense pick a random play, and we will do different adjustments based on what their formation is looking like. Alright, so here we are. You can see we're just in our base cover 4, haven't done any adjustments yet. They are in like a tight offset, 2 receivers on each side and a halfback on the left. So what we do every time, left on the D-pad, down on the D-pad. Crash your defensive line, and then I like to left on the D-pad, down on the right stick, so now they're all crashing towards the middle. That's going to help those D-tackles, especially that Mattabeast, come through and create pressure for you. So we're going to be using the middle linebacker here, Roquan Smith. So now offense like this, I would set up probably the Mabels on both sides. So to do that, if you're not familiar, double tap Y first. So that brings up your secondary adjustments. Then we're going to select either X or B, one of those outside corners. We're doing it to both of them on this play. So we'll do X and then left on the left stick. Now we do the same thing for B. So now see, they're both in those light blue flats that we set at 25 yards, and those purple zones are set at 0 yards. So they're both be guarding the sidelines at 0 and 25 yards. Now you see our safeties, they're still in their inside quarters. So the deep left and deep right are wide open. So we want to put those guys into deep halves. So to do that, we double tap Y. Again, secondary adjustments. And then Y or A, we're doing it to both again. Y, then up on the left stick. Then do it for A as well. So now we have a double Mabel setup. So we have the sidelines covered pretty much all the way down the field. Our weak spot is going to be the middle and the short intermediate, kind of where our user is right now. And this is exactly why we like to have those lurk artist guys at defensive ends, because we are going to drop, in this case, it'll be Mr. Monday Night. I pretty much will do whoever's over the halfback. Who's ever on the halfback side is probably going to be who you want to drop into coverage. So we'll do that here. You double tap left on the D-pad. That brings up your defensive line adjustments. Select Mr. Monday Night. Then I just do vert hooks for the most part, so that's down on the left stick. So now when this ball is snapped, he's going to be watching these guys coming right off the line of scrimmage. We got to watch these guys coming off the line of scrimmage and kind of some of the deep middle. And then the only other thing we're going to want to do is blitz our user. So that's just A and then down on the right stick. So now our user is blitzing, and then get into a spot where you get these green bars above your head. That's going to help your pass rush so much. If you're only rushing 3, they seem to never break through the offensive line. Whereas you blitz your user, get them in a pass rush spot, they think you're rushing 4, and it helps your 3 that are actually rushing get through. So that's going to be it for the adjustments on this play. Here, I will actually reset my defense, and I will go through those adjustments again, because just like with the substitutions, it seems like a lot, but once you're comfortable doing it, you can do it very, very quickly. So we're going to reset our play here. So now we're just in our base cover 4, and I'm going to do it all right now, and I'm going to show you how quick we can do it. All right, so we pinch our line, crash our line, hard flat, deep half, drop him, blitz our user. It's really not that much. You just got to get used to where the buttons are, and then you can do these very quickly. All right, so now I think we're ready. We can snap the ball. Again, get in that spot where you get those green bars above your head, and then we're going to run and try to cover the right here. So and then we watch the middle, and let's see how quick that, what the hell? Okay, that was weird, but you see how quick that pressure gets in there, even with just rushing 3. Okay, so now they've come out a bunch wide formation, and this is why I like keeping those linebackers on default. You see where this Bo Jackson is playing? If he was on base, he would be right here, and they'd be so free to run an RPO or anything like that over there on the left. So now he is over there more lined up on the slot receiver. So first again, pinch, crash your line. That's going to be your first step every time. Because now even if you get quick snapped, at least you're going to have a good chance of getting pressure on them very quickly up the middle. So now typically against bunch, and again, I'm going to make this very clear right now. This defense is not meant to be beating, the MCS or the best of the best. This is just a good defense to get in and be competitive against almost anybody. If you've watched the MUT Gauntlet series, I run this the last 2 seasons with the Bills, the Bears and the Bills, and it played fantastic in the regular season. Even showed up in the postseason. It's just my offense is not great. So anyway, all that said, so they're in bunch wide. So what I like to do against the bunch, whether it's wide, whether it's tight, whatever, is to do that Mabel coverage on the bunch side. So here we'll do it on the left. Again, double tap Y. So this would be X, left on the left stick, double tap Y, Y, up on the left stick. So now we have that Mabel set up on the left. So any corner routes or anything over there, it shouldn't be open. And then we keep our cover 4 over on the right to try to help any, deep crossers, deep posts, anything like that. In a formation like this, what you could also do in this is take this linebacker, Bo Jackson, instead of putting him in a flat like he is, you could put him in a vert hook, because that's going to help any seam streaks over here, because this is definitely going to be a weak spot of this defense that we have to watch out for. In this instance, you could probably just use her because there's not really any big receiver threats on the right. What I would honestly probably do if this was a real game is I would take that right outside linebacker. For us, that's Chris Collinsworth right now. Double tap right, brings up your linebacker adjustments. Right on the D-pad brings up your linebacker adjustments, Collinsworth, and I'd put him in a vert hook, something like that, to watch that number 80 receiver on the right, which I also think is Chris Collinsworth. If he's running a slant, anything quick to the right now shouldn't get open. The only problem with it is that Bo Jackson on the right, if he just leaks out to the flat, might get open. But other than that, I think this is a pretty good defensive setup. So our user is going to be responsible for right over here. We watch the seams at first, anything quick over the middle, and pretty much just this area. So we'll let this run now and see how this works. So we just watch right over here. They just run a Hail Mary, and the pressure comes through. So we sent 4. Pressure's going to come through pretty quick almost every time. Okay, so now they've come out in a 5 wide formation. So this is pretty similar to the tight offset. We're going to set up the pass defense on both sides and drop probably Ted Hendricks into coverage. So yeah, we'll just run through the whole setup again. I'll show you how quick we can do this. Pinch, crash, flat, deep half, drop, Ted Hendricks. So that's pretty much all we're going to do. The only problem with dropping Ted Hendricks is then we have to get our user over here to user blitz to try to get that pressure. So that might leave that seam on the left open. So what we can do to counteract that then is just drop that Bo Jackson in a vert hook. So again, double tap right on the D-pad, select Bo Jackson, down on the left stick. So now he's in a vert hook. So now that flat on the left is going to be open, but we're guarded against the seam streak. So I'm more happy to give up the flat than I am a seam. A flat, you're pretty limited on how many yards you can get. So I prefer dropping him in a vert hook in a situation like this. And this is pretty much the defense we would run. We just have to watch pretty much the dead middle here. So we'll let this play run. Just got to watch the middle. See, so they got the flat, but he got 5 yards. Okay, well, if we could tackle, that is that 99 Musgrave, to be fair. So here's a much more common formation you'll see. This is just looks like regular bunch, something like that, where the bunch is pretty much right on the line of scrimmage. Again, we're going to set up just that pass defense on the left. Kind of keep our pass defense on the right. There is one other thing I would probably do here. So let's just run through our regular setup first. Pinch, crash, hard flat, half over there. Okay. We would drop probably Ted Hendricks. Ted Hendricks goes back into coverage. And the only thing I would potentially do differently here is put a little press over there on Chris Collinsworth. So that's just going to help. Anything quick he tries to do to Collinsworth, we should have pretty covered. We just kind of have to watch this area right here, right as the ball is snapped. And again, I like to put my user kind of above the halfback, just in case this is a run over here to the left. It makes it a lot easier for us to get in there and make a play on it. So we'll put our user right about here. Let him snap it, and then we're just running straight to our left. Oh my god, that guy got decked. So then we watch this, we watch this. Ah, he snuck that in there. I'm surprised he even had time to do that. Okay, so now they have come out in a formation that leads me to believe this could be an RPO, which is another thing you're going to see a ton of online. It is insane. So here's what we would like to do against RPO. We're going to take that right outside linebacker, Chris Collinsworth, double tap right on the D-pad, bring up your linebacker adjustments, select Chris Collinsworth, up on the right stick, put some man coverage, then select X. So he's going to be manned up on that slot receiver. That's going to help a lot with the RPOs. Pretty much if they run an RPO, Collinsworth isn't driving back into his zone. He is staying right on that Harold Carmichael. Then we can also press that outside guy there. So he's going to be closer in case it is an RPO. And really against this specific formation, we could just show blitz too, bring everybody down. Again, that's Y and then left on the left stick. So now they're going to back up, and then we're going to bring them back down, Y and left. Pinch our line. Against a formation like this where we're worried about an RPO, specifically a stretch, I will not crash the line though. You can pinch them if you want. You don't even have to do that. But I always like to pinch them. It's almost muscle memory at this point. But I will not pinch if we're worried about a stretch. And again, we just want to get our user kind of over here, somewhere we can just sprint to the left and guard a stretch. The other thing you can do if you want to, if they're killing you with a different type of plays, you can drop Ted Hendricks into coverage. We're not worried about a run to the right now. We're really worried just about a stretch to the left. Actually, we'll do that just in case it's not an RPO. We will put Ted Hendricks. We can put him in a... He'll just replace that purple zone over there. So we manned up Collinsworth on that slot receiver, and then we just have Ted Hendricks replacing that purple zone. All right, other than that, I think we're ready to go. So we can just go ahead and snap this and see. See, it was an RPO. See? I mean, couldn't draw it up any better than that. That was perfect. So yeah, I think that's just a few good examples of the different adjustments I like to. Against the popular formations, you're going to see a lot. You're going to see bunch a lot. You're going to see those RPO formations a lot. It's just the main takeaways I think you should take from this is it takes practice. It really does to get quick on these adjustments. But once you do, they are really, really fast to be able to do, which is another reason I really like this defense. You're really not in too much danger of getting quick snapped. Even if they get you before you do all of your adjustments, there's not going to be too much left open. If you struggle against corner routes, if you struggle against RPOs, I highly suggest at least trying the 6-1 cover 4 defense. Just get your abilities right. You'll be able to cover everything. Again, I'll just show you one more time. Quick walkthrough. What would we do against bunch? Pop quiz. I know I have headphones on, I can't, and it's a YouTube video, I can't actually hear you, but I'm waiting for your answers. What do we do against a bunch, a formation like this? Right, got it, ready? Here, I'll do it. Crash, pinch, flat, drop him back, blitz our user, get in the green zone. There we go. It's just like that. That's what you can run against bunch pretty much all the time, and you'll get a lot of turnovers, especially because they expect your user to be somewhere, not guarding this area. So that's why we get those lurk artists. They drop back. I've gotten a lot of interceptions from defensive ends playing this defense. So a defense like this, we should be pretty good against a bunch. We just got to watch the short middle. Oh, a little crack toss, and even that we're on it. So again, highly recommend running 6-1 cover 4. I think it's the best, one of the best defenses you can run. That's the easiest to run. It's very simple. You can run, just get the right abilities in there and you will be good. I promise you. Just get into practice mode, get used to those substitutions, get used to those adjustments. And then it takes playing time too to get used to, what formations people are running RPOs in, what formations are they running corner routes out of. But those are adjustments you'll need to be able to effectively cover all of those. So best of luck. If this helped you, drop a like, subscribe, all that usual good stuff. Until next time, take it easy, guys.